You were born with talent, raised with passion, and trained to strengthen football skills. You're at ICEF because you have a dream. We provide you the drive to push your limits, the discipline to train like a pro, the vision to play smarter, the key to become a champion, and the spark you need to become unstoppable. Talented today, unstoppable tomorrow. International Center of European Football.
Hello, hi everybody, and good evening in Asia and good morning here in US. And once again, we meet at the USCC US College Sport Camp webinar. And today we have a special guest from International Center of European Football. And they are the first and the only professional network and academy in Europe. And they're centrally located in France. And we have the full team today. Welcome.
Thank you so much, George.
Okay, so we have Amanda, Rahul, and Isabel on the line here, and we have a full house today. So let's take it away, Amanda. Talk about football today.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to share our presentation today. And we'll start off when it pulls up. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, George, for the introduction. We are here from the International Center of European Football. My name is Amanda. I am the admissions manager, and I am in charge of going through the application and admissions process with all of our families, together with Isabel Roux. She is the Senior VP of Development, and we help you, all of our families, to navigate through the decision process and determine which program is best for your specific needs. Isabel, would you like to say hi?
Hi, thank you for listening to our presentation and being there today.
Thank you so much. And we also have Raúl Escoín. He is our technical director in charge of recruitment. He actually holds the highest UEFA license, the UEFA Pro license, and he's been in the US for more than 5 years, and now with ICEF and PSG. He also has come to the US with more than 20 years of experience in Europe with Barcelona and Villarreal. Maybe, Raúl, I know you wanted to touch a little bit on your experience and speak a little bit about what it is that you're bringing to a program like ours.
Yes, thank you, Amanda. Yes, hello, everyone, and welcome to this presentation. As you said, Amanda, during my career as a football coach, I have worked in two of the most important football academies in Spain, FC Barcelona and Villarreal FC. And basically, I can say that the main objective of the football academies or training centers, is how we call it in Europe, is to develop football players. The first step, of course, is to select and recruit talented players, to later help these students to improve and develop their potential so they can achieve their goals. And the most important point in our training centers in Europe is to understand that this is a teaching and learning process where players and families they have to be committed with the clubs or academies philosophy and methodology and accept this work, sacrifice and patience as a main values to grow up as a player and very important as a person. So in conclusion about European academies, we select talented players to develop their level and give them opportunities. And in Europe, basically, and mainly, their goal is to be professional players.
Thank you so much, Raúl. So I know you touched a little bit about the fact of a training center or the concept of a training center. So I wanted to introduce that aspect now. We are part of Strive Football Group, which is a global player development group of initiatives. And we are building opportunities for international players to see the American lifestyle as well as see the European lifestyle in the college landscape as well as the professional landscape. So when we talk about ICEF, which is what we're talking about today, we're talking about a training center, a professional training center to give our players the opportunity to get to that college step and to get to that pro step. So the concept of a training center, for those of you who may not be familiar, in Europe, the way it works is that for players who want to become pro, they have to go up through the ranks of professional teams training centers. And for Europeans, it's more easily accessible than for an international player because they're already in Europe and they're being scouted throughout the youth teams in Europe. But for an international player who is not in Europe or is not around that area, it's not as easy for them. But that's where ICEF comes in, and we're here to provide our international players with an opportunity to access a professional training center. So we're giving you the opportunity to access the US, but as well access Europe. So we're here to offer you, through our global player development initiatives, we're here to offer you two paths. The college level for those of you who decide to take that route, and that professional level for those of you who decide to take that one. So together with Isabel and Raul, we decide together with our families as well, which path and opportunity is best to suit your needs. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about how we individualize our paths in the second point here. So, but first I wanna highlight what makes us unique. So these 4 main points are 4 of the main targets of why we're unique and why we're different to maybe other academies or training centers in Europe and abroad. So first, we actually own and operate a pro club that competes at the highest level of FFF national youth competition. Raul is going to speak a little bit on that further, but we own and operate Thonon Evian Grand Genève FC that has teams from the youth teams all the way to senior. So that's something that makes us extremely unique. And as I was saying, we have a full team of experts that are the highest rated in Europe. So we have a team of experts in each area of our players' development to ensure that at every step, for example, on the field or off the field, academically, physically, our players are receiving the best experience possible to make sure that their development is a complete development. And then that third point that I wanted to mention is we make sure that everything is individualized. So of course we have that team focus, but more than that, we have an individual focus. We're a small training center. We're not a machine. We're not a large training center like most academies across the board that you'll be familiar with. But we individualize paths and we make sure that every opportunity and every place that we position you, it's in the best position for yourself as well as for your teammates. And finally, we're in the center of Europe. We're at the crossroads of all major European teams that you'll also see later. And we're in the safest area in Europe, one of the safest, one of the richest, natural. We're in a beautiful area in Europe that will give us opportunities also for your off-field activities. So now, Raul, if you want to take over to talk a little bit more about our training center.
Yes, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, so the first question is, what is ICEF? So ICEF is a football residency academy for elite international players born between 2000 and 2008, and is, as you said, located in Evian in France. Our programs include, first, the training and preparation necessary to be able to play at the highest level in football. As you said, our main goal, professional, but also we have the college system. The second point is our programs include academic programs to prepare student athletes to be successful in life and in football. For us, any player who wants to reach the highest level, of course, must have football talent, but also should be an educated person and have a good academic performance. Very important for us. And also in our programs, you will have a cultural immersion in France in a highly competitive environment. So mainly your success is our mission. So we want to help you to achieve your goals and dreams. Okay, so of course I said and I talk about the methodology, about the training. So our coaching staff in our center is made up of a group of experts with UEFA and French Football Federation coaching qualifications. Our coaching staff leads student athletes to confidently exceed their limits and reach a higher and more effective level of football. And about the UEFA and French Football Federation methodology, we need to know that it's focused on teaching players to understand the game. Basically, we develop the intelligence of the player for them to be able to make the best decisions in all game situations. And finally, the excellence of European football methods is proven during decades with the highest ranking technical staff. So we can see in the main football competitions in the world. The highest level of competition in the world, of course, European competitions, but also World Cup, European and another continental competitions, and decades of outstanding results. So the France national team is the current World Cup champion, so it has a lot to do with this methodology. Please, next slide. Okay, ICEF program develops a professional football program. In our training center, players have more than 25 hours of football-related activities, and our programs include all factors and areas of development for youth football players. We have an individual focus, and as Amanda, you said, we have an individual focus in the goals of the players, but also in the technical aspect of soccer. We evaluate and assess each player individually and prepare individual plans for each player based on their qualities and needs in each area of performance. We also work on the tactical setup and position-specific training. Soccer is a team sport, but we also give a lot of importance to the specific positioning training. So we prepare the players so that they can master all the performance factors in soccer. We want them to be able to play in their position, understanding the collective game, and the most important for us, making the best decisions in each situation of the game. We also choose the most suitable competitions for the development of players and those that will have more opportunities to be exposed to scouts and coaches. So we have friendly games, we have preparation games, national and international against national and international teams. We have tournament preparations, and we try to offer a lot of scouting opportunities for our players. We also plan the best sessions for the development of the players at the technical and tactical level. And the last point, video analysis. We record the sessions and games to have theoretical sessions with the players to analyze their performance. And we also analyze professional teams, game model and tactical systems with the players, because we understand it's very important to the players to be able to analyze their practices and games development. Our methodology is based on the training sessions, but we also think that competition is very important for players to evolve and improve their level. We say that the game is the best practice. Also during games, players have the opportunity to show their evolution and their competitiveness. And during the season, we guarantee 20 or more competitive games against the best academies in the area, as AS Monaco, FC Lyon, Servette Genève, Strasbourg, Grenoble, Paris FC. So you can see a lot of important academies in the area that we are going to have competitive games against them. Also, we offer at least 3 tournaments, and indoor during winter time and outdoor during the springtime. So we know that in Europe and this part of Europe, winter is cold. So we have indoor competitions, but mostly outdoor competitions, tournaments. And 3, the opportunity to play with the biggest club in the greater Geneva area. Amanda, you said before. It's owned by ICEF. It's the Thonon, Evian, Grand Genève team, with teams in youth level competition, in the highest level competition in France. So you will be able, to play with this club and show your skills and have these opportunities to be seen. Okay, and as you say, Amanda, before, our training center is located at the crossroads of the major European clubs and teams. ICEF is located in France, 50 minutes drive from the Genève International Airport. So our student athletes benefit from numerous world-class football clubs and institutions in the area. We want the players have the opportunity to be seen by the coaches and scouts of the most important clubs in Europe, and it's a great exposure opportunity for ICEF players. And you need to know that we have major partnerships with clubs in France, in Switzerland. So maybe Isabel, now you can tell us about this part.
Thank you, Raul. Just a quick little note just on the partners. Our objectives at ICEF is to develop players and to get them to be seen and to get them to become pro. So it's very important for us to do partnership, as you said. So we have two types of partnerships. We have the one with the local clubs and the clubs from France, the region, and the club around us, where we always try to get our players to compete and to be seen. But we also are partnership right now with international organization that has come to the center, has visited us, has trusted us. And the biggest proof of our success and the fact that we're really here to really develop our players is all these international partnerships. So one of them, just to among many others, is the PSG Academy USA that has come, and we have some teams that came to train on our facilities. The coach of the PSG came to look at our players, but also, you know, we did a partnership with the West Asian Football Federation that has about more than 12 countries inside the federation. And the idea is to have some of our players go and be seen and scouted by them, or for them to come to see us. So we're going to be developing more and more partnerships. This is one of many. We're looking and talking to several federations, and our goal, once again, is to really develop more and more partnership through the years, locally, in Europe, but also internationally, for our residents to be able to be seen and have opportunities. Amanda?
Thank you so much, Isa.
Yeah, thank you, Isabel. So yeah, as I was talking before, in order to become a professional football player, you need a professional environment and dedicated life. In ICF, you will find these conditions, and you will find a high qualified and experienced staff. You will find a European methodology that guarantees the success of players' development, and you will be a soccer player 24/7. But in order to guarantee and enjoy these conditions to be a professional football player, high-level facilities such as the ones that we have at ICF is also needed. In our training center, and you can see in the pictures about the facilities, you will have a full gym with cardio strength recovery equipment. You will find a spa for recovery and relaxation area. We have a medical staff with physical therapists. We have top-of-the-line amenities, as you can see. And we have natural and heated turf fields where you're going to develop your football skills. But in ICF, we think that injury prevention routines and recovery therapies after the effort are very important for players to have a great performance in practice and competitions. This is the reason that we have professional physical trainers and therapists to maximize physical development and prevent injuries. Because we also want to teach players the importance of the invisible training to prepare them for the highest level of training and competition. A good nutrition provides the necessary energy for effort and prevent injuries. Also, rest is very important because it gives benefits to recover from the practices and games and prevent injuries. A good hygienic is very important. And also, it's very important to recover after the effort to be ready to perform in the next practices on games. So basically, we need to know that you need a professional environment to be a professional football player. Also, of course, you need talent, you need potential, and you have to work hard to develop this potential. And if you do that, and if you have this professional environment with this high-level methodology and coaching staff, you will reach your goals that probably will be to be a professional football player. So thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Raul. So at ICF, we believe that soccer preparation is highly important, of course, but the academic preparation goes hand in hand with that soccer preparation. So in our focus on providing the best of our academics, we have chosen to partner with 3 schools for now. We're developing this as we speak, but you'll see that we have 2 different levels of academic programs. We have the middle and high school programs, and we have the university level as well. So for all of these programs, we will have on-site and online academic programs available to give our players the rigor of an international program, but also give them ownership of their own academics and making sure that they take ownership and make sure that they're evolving from day to day. And we've actually seen that our players who come from the US or who come from internationally, they're actually doing better in their academic programs with us than they were doing before because of all of the focus that we place on the academics. So as you'll see in middle and high school, we offer 3 programs. We offer the Cambridge International Education Program, the American Middle and High School, and French Middle and High School. For this audience, I believe that the Cambridge International Education Program would best suit you. So while we talk later with each and every one of our families, we will obviously specify which one we believe will suit you best, but we'll work hand in hand to ensure that we're making the best decision for your academic development. And then at the university level, we've partnered with Geneva Business School, a business school in the Geneva area, obviously. And through these classes, we are offering 2 bachelor's degrees, a major in sports management and a major in international management. So through these programs and these courses, we have dedicated experts and professionals who actually work in the industry and are professionals in the field already. So they are able to give insight into the working life. And when we talk about Webster University, we have 10+ degree programs that are internationally recognized, and they're actually easily transferable in America because we have some players who would like to go back and study maybe at the collegiate level in America. So those who would like to do that, the courses that they take at Webster are they're automatically transferred, the courses and the credits to the US. So for those of you who would like to study at Webster, the courses, most of them will be virtual, taken at ICEF, but you will also have on-site classes. Let me go back to Sainte Croix de Neige, the middle and high school. So for these student athletes, we will have dedicated classrooms for our players to be in. For example, we'll have 8th grade and 9th grade maybe together, 10th and 11th, maybe 12th. We'll make sure that the academic programs that you're following, you will be seated along with your peers to follow these programs. And we have teachers from each subject. For example, on Monday, we'll have math. On Tuesday, we'll have science. Wednesday, social studies. So yes, you're following an individualized program, but you will have all of the backup and support from experienced and licensed educators, making sure that you are on path and ready to go with your program. As well, when you go back to ICEF, you have tutors who make sure that you're following your program and that you're not just leaving behind maybe a question that you had in class that sometimes is even worse during a larger classroom and when you're doing an on-site program. And we also have a dedicated education manager who takes an individual approach to each student athlete and makes sure that their progression is being followed. Together with him, he ensures that our players and student athletes who would like to reach that college level, they're prepared with SATs and ACT preparation, TOEFL and DELF, to make sure that they're prepared for the tests and they're ready to go to the classroom and take the test. Sorry. So now talking about your life at ICEF. For most of you, you're going to be far from home, but this is going to be your new home away from home. So as you'll see, it's beautifully, it's recently redone. So all of the areas are going to feel cozy, they're going to feel like home, but they're also a professional environment that when you wake up in the morning and you go to sleep at night, you feel like you've succeeded every day. So as you'll see maybe in some of the pictures, it's some living areas, some of them are nutrition based, some of them are your locker rooms, and some are fun areas. But you'll see in the bullet points here, you have, I mean, they're beautiful amenities, and they'll feel just like at home. And you'll see here, it's the balanced schedule. Like we said, we have a healthy balance with soccer and academics. So yes, you'll see a major focus on the soccer aspect because that's obviously what you're here for, or at ICEF for. But you'll see that most of the schedule is tailored for your success. And you'll see also a typical weekend. We make sure that our players also have adequate rest time because even this season, we saw that most of our players who were excited and ready to go at the beginning of the season, they did eventually need their rest time. And we have a very big focus on that rest time as well. So talking a little bit about rest time, we also have a very large emphasis and place a large focus on the fun activities and what there is to do in the area. Because we're in obviously one of the best and most enriching areas for learning, for opportunities, and to see Europe. And yes, you're here for soccer and you're here for academics, but you're also here to explore the culture, explore the area, get to experience a professional team-based opportunity. So you'll see some pictures and you'll read some of the amazing opportunities we have. But let's just close up maybe a little bit and let's talk about what we're offering you today. So today we're offering you a type of boarding school program where you'll be with us for 10 months. With Isabel, then we will talk about, obviously later with our specific families, we will talk about which program suits you best because we do have some other programs and we will make sure that we individualize these specific needs for our families. But our most featured program and our most sought after program is our 10-month program. For middle and high school, you'll see the pricing there and the tuition and fees, so I won't go into that. But I do want to show you a testimonial of one of our student athletes from this year who did experience this program. So we'll go into that now. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Hello, my name is Anthony Gallo. I'm 16 years old and I'm a resident at the International Center of European Football. I wanted to join the Center of European Football because of the level in the US wasn't high enough. It wasn't technical enough for me. So going to France and learning about the European methodology would help my game a lot more. So that's why I made the move. When I discovered the staff and the coaches, my first initial thought was that it was a good place, safe place, and I could improve my game here. The main strengths for me is the technical side to it, where the coaches help you and make you understand the game and how it's made to play a quick game, one-touch passes. The coaches really helped you understand that. In these 3 months, yes, I think I made a lot of progress in my game and how I play, and I'm more confident on the ball and I'm quicker on the ball, and I feel just better in general. Experienced. My coach is experienced. The trainings are less in the gym or push-ups or just muscle mass and more of playing with the ball, passing the ball, helping your game, such as like sometimes if you're not doing good with the team, he'll pull you aside and make you practice what you need to practice on. The competition is pretty high, it's a good level, and the players over there have been super nice to me. They're good at what they do. Well, when you're at school, you really concentrate on what you do, and then after you get the soccer, you get a little bit of fun and serious, so you have to get better. The weekends, there's usually outings about 1 time a week, maybe 2, but it's very good. Oh, my whole team is my friends. We're all really close. I try talking French to the other kids as much as I can. They think it's hard. If they need help, I just translate for them. The way they play over there, the European way, it's faster, technically it's faster, and the coaches are more experienced over there in France. That's why it's so important to be at ICEF, to learn about the way of European football. I think so, yes. The players, like the way they think is what I want to have and what I will have being over there at ICEF. My plan is one day being pro, so I'm going up until I reach where I want to be.
Okay, perfect. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I know George has a Q&A session coming up. I did just want to mention the process now and where we stand now. So I know George will communicate with all of you guys. But once you're interested, or if you're interested in getting to know more, please visit our website, our Instagram. Shoot us a quick email. Isabel and myself are always available to speak with any of our families, and we're more than happy to walk you through the admission process. I know it's a difficult time right now, but we're excited to get our families going and giving them the opportunity, and this once in a lifetime opportunity. So
Well,
George, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Isabel and Rahul. And we learned a lot today about European mythology, about footballs, and this is why if you want to be in football professionally, you have to be in Europe, right, Rahul?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the place to be.
Yeah, definitely. So if you have any question in the audience, just go ahead and type in your chat message, and then I will certainly ask the team here and to get your answer. But here's some of the questions that we receive that you can take it away. The first one: what are the difference between your academy, in Europe, and compared to other football organizations in the world?
Isabel, would you like to speak a little bit on that?
Yes, well, George, first of all, it's a legitimate questions. I think it's very important to say that we are a training center. We have a center of formation. Our mission is to develop players, is to get them at the highest potential level possible, to develop them, and then to get them to become pro. So this is one of our very first mission. We bring them to Europe. Europe is the heart of football, like we have said before in the presentation, where if you want to play football, that's where you will naturally go. If you want to play basketball, you might look at the United States, but Europe is well known for football. So that's the first thing I would say. At our center, we have the best coach with the highest level of soccer accreditation. We have the best education. We have a system where you have an international education. So it's really no compromise. You don't have to do one without the other. They both at the highest level. We've been trusted and we've been by the international community, by soccer clubs around the region. So this will give the player the best, I would say, environment, amenities, soccer programs, followed by the best. We have our own club that we've been, working with several youth clubs that play at the highest level of competition. So that's something it's also very important. Our residents have access to training with our club sometimes. So very high level of training, competition, very high level competition. And I will finally say also that we have one of the best location, very safe environment at the heart of soccer world, with the best accommodation, once again, in a very safe, I would say, environment. I don't know if that answers your questions.
I mean, that's pretty much the whole thing. Well, thank you again for a very thorough and detailed answer. All right, now I'm listening to your presentation, and I saw your presentation, especially the page that have you a graphic, from Asia, go to Europe and go to US, right? So with the family in the audience today, we all in Asia and in every countries, in Thailand, whether in Laos, in Singapore, or Philippines. which one should we use? Which one should we choose, right? Because I know traveling times, 12 hours from Asia to Europe, and it's about 24 hours to US. But which one would give my kid or my family the best chance to develop as a player? So that's probably the question. Which one should I choose? European or US?
Raul, would you like to touch on that?
Yes, yes, of course. In my opinion, everything is about the the personal goals, personal objectives. The football academies system in the US, they are more oriented towards the college opportunities. On the other hand, in Europe, as I said during the presentation, the objective of all the players, all the children that they start playing football is only to be a professional player. Okay, so therefore, if a player can grow as a footballer, as a football player in an academy in Europe, I think he will have a development that will allow him to be in a professional, or at least to try to be professional in Europe. In our case, is in France and all the clubs and teams that they are in our area. But also, a player developed in a European academy environment, as I said, is a 24/7 training in a professional environment. I think he will also have a good chance, if after his goal is to be recruited by an American college, they are going to have these chances, since his technical, his speed of play, and especially his intelligence of play will allow him to stand out. So basically, Europe is professional path, so professional level is the main goal. But a player who develops his, as I said before, this learning process. So it's a process. He will also have these chances to, if he goes to the US, to have, these chances.
Okay, so education as an important part here in US, and professional developments in Europe. So what's your background, Rahul? I mean, you spent about 20 years there, right? In Europe?
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
and then with Academy, ICEF. What is your proven track record? I mean, have you developed like professional player in the past, and who are they and where they are now?
Yes, as I said, I have experience in Villarreal and Barcelona, and also now I have experience here with ICF doing the scouting in the US. And during my years in Spain, when I work in Barcelona, of course, Barcelona Academy is one of the top academies in the world. Especially, they started with the European methodology, so now we develop in mostly all the academies. Yeah, we have a lot of talented players there. So yeah, players that I had in the academy, for example, Jordi Alba now is playing in Barcelona first team. So we have a lot of players in these generations that they become professional players. Also in Villarreal, I was lucky because I started my project in Villarreal when they become a first division team. So they develop a lot the academy, and also we have a lot of talented players. Why? Because we have a big pool in Europe of talented players, but also we invest a lot with them in the development process. So at the end of the day, this is why for me now, having this opportunity to be with ICF is very important, because now we can attract players from all around the world, and we want to give them this opportunity to work in our center, to live the European methodology, to live the European football life. And we are sure that if they go, they are going to improve a lot, and they are going to have a lot of opportunities, and they are going to fulfill their expectations.
Okay, good. So, all right. So, if the audience here today have interest to join your program academy in Europe, what would be next step?
So yeah, as I was saying, the next step would first, we would love to have a talk with any of these families, it would be great to reach out to either myself or Isabel. I don't know, George, if you would like to send them our contact info. As well, for those of you who would like to go directly to the tryout process, right now we have an online tryout process that is live on our website. Our website is www.theicef.com. And if you go on the tryout page, the tryout book, on the menu, you'll see all of the information on our tryouts. So you can either go through there or have an initial talk with myself or Isabel, and we will talk you through that process.
Okay, good. So I'm going to share your website information in the chat room, and also your contact number. And if anybody like to have more information about your program, please feel free contact directly to you. And of course, you can always contact us at US College Sport Camp, and we are here to help them to make sure they develop and pursue their dreams. Good. So
yes.
I was saying probably going to be my last question here. What about if they want to be a pro, right? As Rahul say, why would they have to go to school, and why your academy need to have an academic portion to the program?
Isabel, would you like to answer?
Well, first of all, it's very important. Two reasons, George. One very important is that everybody wants to be a pro. Everything can happen. There's a lot of variables we don't know. An injury, a change of heart. So we want to make sure that they keep on following their education, because not everybody is going to become pro. The second point is very important, is that they need a visa to come to spend 10 months in the center. So you will have to be gone through a student visa. And this is one of the main, 2 points. But as also what Amanda was saying very quickly, it's very important for us at the International Center of European Football that they really follow an education, and that they follow a discipline, and that we develop them on and off the field. It's very important for us also to develop them on and off the field. So we want their education to be continued.
Okay, good. So the main one is they need a visa to be there. Second one is it's good for your future.
Yes.
Okay, so you never know what's going to happen in the future. But again, Rahul, Amanda, Isabel, thank you again for your time today. And for me, I just go ahead and share our social network information. Please come join us to get an update on US College Sport Camp. And I really apologize, we don't think we're gonna make it to Asia this summer. But as soon as we travel safely again, we'll be there, and we want to see you there. And hopefully it's open invitation for your team to have a tryout in Asia soon.
Thank you so much, George.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, and good night, everybody, and stay safe.